Um, what up YouTube, this is 34 Skyline, and today's video I want to talk about why Windows didn't boot in my Mac Pro with the Titan RTX. I need to update to Mojave on my Mac Pro. Yeah, I'm running the High Sierra, as you guys may know, on my 2010 Mac Pro. And because Mojave has a firmware update, I believe it's 138.00, something like that. I need to update to that. And that's what people are telling me on the forums. I need to update to that firmware. And the only way to get that firmware, you gotta download it off the Apple's website. But there's a problem. The RTX cards is not on Apple's cards to use on their list. I'll put the list in the description if you guys don't know about that. You need a metal supported card to order to download the Mojave on your 2010 Mac Pro or older. You need a metal supported card. So I just picked the cheapest one. I picked the Radeon RX 560, 4 gigs. I need a video card anyway because I sold my stock card that came with the computer. I no longer have that. So, and once the new Mac Pro comes out, I'm going to sell this classic Mac Pro, so I need a video card regardless to put it inside once I sell this Mac Pro. But anyway, if you guys plan to use a RTX 2060, 2070, 2080, and a 2080 Ti or a Titan RTX, you're going to have to update to Mojave because you need to update your firmware on your Mac Pro. So I'm going to install this card into my Mac and Mac Pro, and then I'm going to update the firmware and then do all that kind of jazz. Well, YouTube, I put the RX 560 in the Mac Pro. You don't need no power cables. It just plugs in to the 16-time slot. So that's all you need. You don't need no power cables. So let's power it up. Okay, YouTube, the MSI Radeon RX 560 did work on the Mac Pro. Alright YouTube, so we have the Mojave, MacOs Mojave download, and it's asking me to do a firmware update, and we're going to do that right now. Okay YouTube, I didn't show you the progress because the MSI 560 don't have a boot screen. So it was just a blank screen, so I fast forward to this part. Now the boot ROM 140.0.0.0.0. so you need to change that. So if you're running High Sierra, update to Mojave to order to get the RTX working on your Mac. So make sure you guys update if you guys want to use any RTX card, the 2060, the 2070, the 2080 and 2080 Ti, and if you guys want to go big, go get the Titan RTX. But you need to update to this boot ROM version in order to make your RTX card work. And you have to have Mojave. But like I said, in order to make this work, you have to have a metal support card. And I'll leave you the list in the description of what kind of card you need. Like I said, I just picked the cheapest one because, like I said, I'm not going to spend too much money on a card that I'm only going to be using just to do this video. Once the 2019 Mac Pro comes out, I'm going to get rid of this 2010 Mac Pro. So I need a video card, like I said before. I sold my stock card. But anyway, like I said, you need to change your boot ROM version to this 140.0.0.0. You need to change that. So the only way to do that is you need to download Mojave. And if you don't have a metal support card, the App Store will not let you download it. So you have to get the metal support card. Just go out there and get the MSI RX 560. It's only like $130 to download Mojave. Or there's patches out there you guys can do, but I'd rather do this way. I'd rather do this way. I'd rather do the right way the first time. So that's why I didn't do the patch. And like I said before, I needed the card in because I'm going to sell that Mac Pro. So, but like I said, you can do it patches, or you just go out and buy a cheap MSI card to make it work. But it has to be a Radeon RX 560, the 4 gig version. Like I said, I'll leave the list on the description, so you can pick what card you guys want if you want to run Mojave on your Mac Pro 5.1. Alright YouTube, Mojave is downloading on my Mac Pro 5.1. I'll come back after this is done. It got 23 minutes to download. Alright, I'll be right back. So it's downloading on the hard drive, so it's going to take 54 minutes to remaining, so I'll come back after this is done. Alright YouTube, it's finished downloading. I got Mojave on my Mac Pro 5.1. Well YouTube, I'm in the command line in Windows 10, so because I'm trying to format my disk to NTFS. Once I did that, I needed to convert to UEFI. Once I do all that, the card should work under boot camp. So I'll get back to you after this is done. Okay YouTube, I'm going to talk to you about how I got Windows 10 working on my Mac Pro with the RTX graphic card. In the last video, like I stated, when I was downloading, Windows wasn't working. It was booting into a white screen. So I found the problem. The problem was, here's all the things you're going to need. Like I'm trying to tell you in the beginning of the video, you're going to have to update your firmware to 140.0000. You have to update the firmware update. That's the number one thing you have to do. Well, actually, the number one thing you have to do is you need to get a metal support card. Like I showed you earlier, I got the Radeon 560. That's the cheapest one for $100. You're going to need that to update your firmware. After you update your firmware, after that's done, you don't have to download Mojave, but just download it just in case. But like I said, you don't have to. You can just you can update your firmware and just keep using High Sierra or Sierra. But I just did it because everybody else did it. I just downloaded Mojave just because everybody else did. You need to get an 8 gigabytes thumb drive so you can download Windows 10 ISO. Once you've done all that, then you can put the thumb drive in your Mac Pro, push option, and all your drives should show up. Pick your Windows ISO thumb drive and let it start doing this thing. Then before you install your Windows 10, you're going to hit troubleshoot, and after you hit troubleshoot, then you go to advanced options and then you choose command. Once you go to the command line, you're gonna type in disk part. Once you do that, you hit enter. After you hit enter, then you're gonna list volume in your Mac Pro. Now you need to format your hard disk that you installing on Windows on into NTFS. Once you format your hard drive to NTFS, let it do its thing. Restart the computer again. Load into your thumb drive Windows ISO, and let Windows do its thing. Now Windows will start to install on that hard drive. After all that's done, after you've done all that, now Windows working, then you need to, and I don't think you need to do this, but I was told to do this, but you need to go to Intel website and download your chipset drivers. And I don't think you need to do that because I think Windows take care of that, but just in case, just go in there and download that. And then after that, download your RTX graphic drive, I think 417 something, and download that. After that, Windows will work on your Mac Pro with RTX card. Because like I said, you cannot, if you go out and buy an RTX card for your Mac Pro, when you go home, you will get a white screen. So you need to do the steps in order to make your RTX card work in your Mac Pro in your 4.1 and 5.1. So, recap, buy a metal support card. Number 2, get a thumb drive. Number 3, download Windows ISO. And number 4, like I said, go troubleshoot, advanced option, command line, type in this part, enter, list volume, enter, and then whatever number your hard drive is, number 1 or number 2, whatever, you hit select 2, enter, and then you're going to put format fs equal ntfs, enter, and that will begin formatting your hard drive to ntfs, and then so you can install Windows on that drive. That's how it worked working on the Mac Pro. If you follow those steps, it will work. On the last video I showed you that I couldn't get Windows 10 to boot. Well, I fixed that. I resolved that issue because, like, remember last time on the last video, when I turn Windows on, Windows goes to a white screen. Okay, and I didn't fix it, but I just followed somebody else's instructions how to fix it. But I got that resolved. Now Windows is working and MacOs Mojave is working. So I got both operating system working. But I'm gonna let you guys know, if you guys do decide to do the RTX upgrade, it will work in Mojave, High Sierra, whatever. The acceleration is horrible. It's glitchy. So I'm gonna let you guys know that if you guys do decide to go to the RTX way, it's gonna be glitchy, and because there's no drivers for the Apple side, at Apple macOS, it doesn't have no drivers at all, no driver support. So it's gonna run crappy, but it will boot. You can do all your normal stuff like emails, looking on the internet. You can do all that, but it will be very glitchy because there's no drivers for the Mac side yet. But on the Windows side, it works perfectly. But let me show to you that Windows 10 Pro 64-bit and the Mac OS Mojave work on a Titan RTX card and a Mac Pro 5.1 that is 9 years old, and it works. I'm going to hold down the Option key. I'm holding down the Option key right now. It takes a little bit. Now, here's the boot screen on a Titan RTX. Okay? I'm going to show you Windows 10 first. Last time it didn't do this. See, now my Windows 10 Pro is working on my Mac with the Titan RTX. The first time it did not work at all. It just boots into a white screen, but now everything's working correctly. Okay, I'm putting my password in. And it's working correctly. And I'm on the device manager on the Mac Pro, It does have NVIDIA Titan RTX installed. Okay, okay YouTube. Okay, on this part, on the Mac Pro, if you guys haven't done the firmware update, most of you got your BIOS mode will be legacy. If it's legacy, you cannot use the RTX card. It has to be UEFI. So if you guys have Windows on your Mac Pro and you want to have the RTX card, this has to change to UEFI. And you see this part right here, Apple Inc., the 14000, that's your firmware update. You also needed to do that to change your firmware update on your Mac Pro. If you're running High Sierra or older, the only way you can change your BIOS version date, you have to update to Mojave. Well, when you guys update to Mojave, it will do the firmware update. Okay YouTube, now I showed that Windows is working. I have NVIDIA Experience. That's NVIDIA, that's all working. Steam, all working. So Windows 10 Pro works now on the Titan RTX in the Mac Pro. So I got that resolved, and I'm going to boot into macOS. Restarting the computer. Hold down the Option key. There are the two hard drives in the computer. I'm gonna push the Enter, and there's the Apple logo. Like I said, it takes a while because I don't have a. There you go. Now Mojave is loaded up. Put in my password. And there is Mojave. They both work. And you see this? I'll put it closer. Since Apple didn't approve the drivers for the Mac Pro, it says no GPU detected. So, like I said, I got it to work on Windows and Mac OS.